I woke up from a nap. Just now. Relatively now. I woke up and I scrolled through TikTok and I looked at my messages I missed and then I made some coffee. I just woke up from a nap and happened to do 30 minutes of other things. The point is, I just woke up from a nap. So my mind is still fresh. This is actually fresh. My mind is still groggy. My mind is post nap, it's in its post nap state. This is the first cup of coffee that I've poured myself in maybe 5 days. I have been sick and I have not drank coffee. I've drank mostly tea in the mornings, and it's helped me in my area here. I'm still like really thick right here. It's the only way I can describe it. Heavy and thick. That's how my chest feels. And I feel like if somebody could just squeeze me and shake me, it could jar all the mucus off of my lungs or off of my rib cage or off of my ventricles. I don't know what it's on, but there's mucus in there. And I could cough it up and I could feel better. But that's not what this video is about. In fact, this video is about artistry. Something that I never would have really considered myself an artist, that is, because to me, artists paint, period. To me, artists draw, and I could never draw and paint. I wanted to. I loved it. I loved the practice of creating something. I couldn't do it well. And that's disappointing, but that's okay, because we all have different things that we're good at, and art, typical like pen, paper art, not one of them. So what happened? I have two friends who live in Arizona, and they often send me music because I don't like music. And that's a blanket statement, a generalization, and it's not true in its purest form, but it's true, and it's true. It's a true statement. I don't like music. If someone said no more music for the rest of your life, but here's a 2010 brand new Honda Accord, I'd take the car and never listen to music again. I don't know why. I can make guesses. I think there were elements of the church growing up that ruined music for me. I think there were elements of music class in elementary school and having one of the worst music teachers. She was an awesome music teacher. We'll say that. She was not good with kids, in my opinion. She was not good with me. I didn't care for her. She scared me. And music also just gets stuck in my head. And I don't like that. I don't like when I sing the same song all day. So they send me songs periodically. It used to be daily. And they are songs that they imagine I've never heard because I don't listen to a lot of music. And usually the goal of this interaction is they'll send me a song, I'll listen to the song, and then I'll give them feedback about why I liked it, why I didn't like it. And I'm a lyrical guy. That's what I focus on. The music itself, the instruments do matter to some degree, but I'm really listening for the lyrics. And they sent me a song today, and I'll just show you guys on my phone, and it's probably a safe call that you have not heard it. Okay? It's called Butterflies by Samsa, written in 2017. So fairly old, okay? Going on 8 years old. And I had heard it. And this is not a popular artist. Like, Samsa is not a popular artist. But I don't know how I found him, but I found him and was very drawn to his ability to write poetry, because that's ultimately what it is. And then sing it over a catchy beat, which is similar to rap. If I had to pick my favorite genre of music, it would be rap. And people are going to say, well, that's not even music. It's very much music. Leave me alone, okay? So they sent me this song, and I said, I love Samsa. And they were shocked. They're like, what? You've heard of Samsa? How have you, like, you haven't heard of Whitney Houston? You don't know you couldn't name two songs by John Legend or Elton John, but you know about Samsa? I said, yeah, lyrical guy, catchy tunes, like I like him. They said, we figured he would be up your alley, which in a weird way is like a massive compliment. If you go listen to that and someone says, I know a guy who would love this, man, I want to meet that guy. I am that guy. That's pretty cool. And that ties into the point of this video, which is, I think, and this is what hit me, okay? So my one complaint about him is that he doesn't put out a ton of new stuff, or at least he didn't at that time. I didn't bother checking. I figured I'd come up here and make this video and then fact check myself. He doesn't put out a lot of new stuff. And I thought, man, I would love it if he put out new stuff. And then it got me thinking, do I even care if his new stuff is good? Are there artists out there who could put out anything and I would be excited that it's available? Are there people out there, artists, in whatever form and fashion that you want to call them, whether that's movie producers, whether that's singer-songwriters, whether that's actual artists, whether that's YouTubers, whether that's anything. My dogs are barking and we're going to roll with it. Are there people out there who could put out any product and I would consume it regardless? Just because I like the artist, right? Chance the Rapper comes to mind. Lil Dicky comes to mind. For a long time, Tyler the Creator would come to mind. When he went with Igor and it wasn't a lot of rapping, I didn't really get, that's like one exception to this rule that I'm laying out. And there are others, I'm sure, and you probably have some too. No matter who, no matter what they put out, there is a who that you would listen to. An artist that you love. And I thought, I spend, and this is where I speak for me, and maybe I speak for Samsa, and maybe I speak for these other artists. There is a certain level of perfection that an artist wants to achieve. There's a level of polished that is, in some ways, required to put out art. But there's also art in the form of YouTube. Hello. That isn't that. And the artist can be as free as they want to be, right? And I'm trying to learn that as a perfectionist. That I didn't know. We can talk about perfectionism in another video. I did not know I was a perfectionist. We'll talk about how I was diagnosed by a very intelligent woman who I trust fully. And even though I don't believe I'm a perfectionist, I trust her because she's very I guess I'm a perfectionist. The bottom line is, I think perfectionism holds me back in a lot of ways. And I thought, should I go talk about this? And my first instinct was, you shouldn't go talk about something you don't know about. But I do know about it because I've lived it. Yeah, but you need to prove it. You need to show it. You need to draw graphs and show like at what point the value is lessened due to the craft being not perfected versus, how much content is too much content for somebody to put out. Like if Lil Dicky put out a song every day, you wouldn't listen to it because it would after a while it wouldn't be good. Well, how do you know? Maybe it would be good. And maybe I would listen to it whether it was good or not. I think there are people out there that I would listen to, whether their artistry or art is objectively good or not. Because at the end of the day, art is subjectively measured, usually. There are objective standards, but sometimes art is just about connecting to the artist and being in awe of the artist. So I realize this channel sucks metrics-wise. There's 50 people subscribed. There's probably 7 people who will watch this. Maybe 8 if I'm lucky. But in some ways, this channel, I started it for me. I started it as a way for myself to become someone I like. Not that I don't like myself. That's not what I'm saying. But I think for a long time, I haven't liked who I am, right? That's why I crave other people's support and validation. And so on this journey, and I think January 2nd is a darn good time, 2025, as I'm really laying it out here for YouTube, I think this video is for me. It's to say, you can make art. You can make something out of just a thought that you had one day, and you don't have to perfect it. You could speak from yourself. Not that the art I make or the videos I make are not representations of myself, but they're products of myself, but there may not be a full, honest reflection. Whereas this video is just a full, honest reflection. Did I look in the mirror for crying out loud? No. I haven't even taken a drink of my coffee. Oh, yeah. That's my first sip of coffee in 5 days. I mean, tea's fine, but there's something about this. Just pure. Here's what I did, and then we'll wrap it up. This is art in its own right. I poured the water in here, the strawberry mug. I dumped this strawberry mug into a water kettle, which I warmed up. I then put I think it's called a Hario V60. It's like a funnel that sits on top of here. And I put 1 scoop of Cafe Bustelo grounds. If you're not familiar, keep it on the down low. It's pretty affordable and it's pretty quality. And I don't want people finding out about it and them knowing they got a good thing and increasing their price, because it doesn't need to be increased. It's just fine the way it is. 1 scoop of Cafe Bustelo, pour the coffee on, let it funnel in, and that's it. No cream, no sugar, nothing else, because this in its purest form, it's the art.